Okay, so this evening, thank you very much everybody for turning up. We're going to get through the formalities of the evening. And I'm pleased to say that we've got an expert announcer who's going to be giving us the pleasure of his experience and expertise and the formal announcements of each award as we go through the evening. I'm going to do the freestyling that goes around that. Boom, yeah. I won't do a mic drop. I don't want to pay for it. Anybody wants to have something to say during the proceedings, go for it. It's a very interactive evening. Except Ollie. Ollie's, has anybody got a gag? Anything? Stato has specifically asked if that whilst we're going through the formalities of the evening that you would listen and not have private conversations, otherwise he will kick you out. And he's certainly dressed for the occasion. Doesn't he look like a... Right. At the back there, they're trying to just collect in some pounds here and there for the raffle. 50-50, so whatever comes in, you'll win half the money, the rest will go back to pay for the pork and apple bats. Oh, might not be apple, but definitely pork. There's some chips coming as well, just so that we can soak up some of that beer. And then John this evening at 9:30, he's got a band in the other room and is encouraging you all to stay and enjoy that too. I'm sure you don't need any encouragement, do you, Ollie? No. Right. Okay. What a season. Started this time last year for the committee, getting prepared for another year at Step 6. And a brand new year for what were the under-18s going into the reserves in the Shropshire League. Big step up that for a bunch of young lads to go into Adult League, and as we'll see through the presentations and through the course of the evening, some great moments that culminated in them finishing, somewhere around the middle of the table in a club that has taken a lot of their resources from them through that year. So before we get started, I just want to say congratulations to the under-18s who have spent their first year as the reserves and done the club proud. Well done, lads. And then we add to that the first team, all 4 versions of it.
The 2 that have come.
Well, you could say that, but there are 4 lads that started the season that finished the season, which is more than can be said for most of the managers. When you're going through a season that these players have been through, reserves enjoy the fact that you haven't had to go through that yet this year. But it shows character, it shows a lot of determination to just turn up to training, just to put the kit on, knowing that the chances of you getting that goal, the chances of you getting that win, very, very difficult. In what is a semi-professional league with a team that spent somewhere in the region of £5,000 just so that we could go and play them at their ground. That's what sort of money was in that league. So I think it's fair to reflect on this year and say, wow, well done to the managers that tried their best, to the players that turned out and did their best. Well done for trying to represent St Martin's across the whole of the North West and even across the Irish Sea. So on behalf of everybody, I'd like to say well done to the first team and all those that have been involved. Right, that's the formalities of those types of things. There's going to be a lot of thank yous throughout the evening. I've enjoyed watching you all. Big rounds of applause for those that are involved. And there'll be some people that aren't mentioned. But everybody that contributes to the football club gives a little bit of something that is permanent. It's a memory that we take for the rest of our lives on our journeys across our normal everyday lives. It's a little smile, it's a little frown, it's a little F word, it's a little that's a little goal every now and again. But all these things really mean a lot. And so, without further ado, I will hand you over to the Master of Ceremonies for this evening. just as this mic is about to run out. Okay. Stato.
Thank you, Andy. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to the Keys here at St Martin's for this St Martin's Football Club End of Season Awards evening. On behalf of St Martin's, I'd like to thank you all very much indeed for coming and hope everyone enjoys the evening. There are various awards for both the first team and the reserves to be presented, and I'll guide you through these as the evening progresses. The first set of presentations is for the Golden Boot for the leading goal scorer, and to make the presentations, please welcome the President of St Martin's Football Club, Mr Pete Morris. Okay, we start with the reserves, and with their final game of the season at home to Urquhart Colts Juniors still to come next Saturday. Josh Davis leads the way with 8, Rob Weir is on 7, Jake Cross has 5, and both Kai Herdman and Oliver Humphreys have 2 each. We're talking about goals, by the way. However, the decision has been taken, not by me, I hasten to add, to award the trophy despite that remaining game still to be played. So the Golden Boot for the leading goal scorer for the reserves goes to Josh Davis.
Yeah, if he's not here, who was second? He's not having anything tonight. On behalf of Josh, I'll accept that award because I never ever would have won this award ever in my footballing career, and I appreciate it. Thanks very much, Peter. Alright, stay there.
Okay, for the first team it was, to say the least, a very difficult season on the goal scoring front, but there was actually a tie for the leading goal scorer with 2 players each on 3 goals. The Golden Boot for the first team actually goes to Emmanuel Fernandez.
Yeah, right. So, as unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I'd like to thank you, Pete, for this wonderful opportunity. I won't. We should have got the goalie to come up and collect this, and then he wouldn't have dropped it like I'm more likely to. So, again, just to remind you, these lads that have been representing us have come all the way down from Manchester, Southport, all over the northwest, and you know, Manny did send us a message saying thanks very much for the support that he's had this season, the opportunities. He is working this evening, and that has been his problem, hasn't it, all this season? Imagine what the first team could have done if he'd have been available all the time. But anyway, thanks very much, Pete. And last but not least.
Okay, the third of the leading goal scorer awards is for the Club Golden Boot, and this covers goals scored for both the first team and the reserves, with his 3 goals for the first team and his 7 for the reserves to make a total of 10 goals. The winner of the Club Golden Boot for season 2021-22 is Rob Weir. Okay, we now move on to the award for the Manager's Player of the Season, and to make the presentations, please welcome Mr Liam Blaisdell. Okay, we start with the reserves, and I'd like to invite Liam to say a few words about the recipient before announcing the name of the winner.
Okay, so for the reserves, this player, shut up you. I'll make you do laps around the keys, mate. Okay, no, this player's revolutionised the team. 12 months, hasn't he? Come in, after getting a haircut actually at the barber shop down the road. Very, very good player, technically unbelievable for the level that we're playing at. So reserves managers player of the year is Rob Weir.
Okay, we now move on to the award for the first team, and I'd again like to invite Liam to say a few words about the recipient before announcing the name of the winner.
He's not here, so I'll say a little bit about him anyway. He started the season, didn't he, to be fair, and he's come down from Manchester every single week with a smile on his face. Played an unbelievable game, I thought, at Isle of Man away. Great attitude, really decent person, deserves the award. So the manager's player of the year for the first team was Paolo Nkake.
Once again, Paolo did give us a shout. He said that he couldn't make it, his car got broken into. That's what happens when you live in Manchester. No, it's your wheels in Liverpool. Again, thanks very much to the lads that came down from Manchester, and I think it's fair to say first team to stand up and be counted as a captain within that team through the season takes a lot of courage, and I think he did it very, very well. Very eloquent in the change rooms, and quite assertive at times as well, but always with a smile on his face. So thanks very much, Liam.
Okay. Right, we now move on to the award for the Players' Player of the Season, and to make the presentation for the reserves, please welcome the reserves captain, Oliver Humphries.
More than anything, 50 cents. Remember? I always speak.
Okay, I'd like to invite Oliver to say a few words about the recipient before announcing the name of the winner.
Thank you, Stasso. I think this award speaks for itself.
Some t-shirts.
When this fella first turned up, I honestly thought he was going to be shite. He turned up like a posh boy from bloody Hogwarts. He's got more bags than Stan Superstore, and he was the Super Robert Weir.
What do you think about a wardrobe? What do you think is so I had to pay 15 quid, whatever it was.
Okay, we now come to the award for the first team Players' Player of the Season, and Liam is going to step in the absence of David Meadow.
A little bit about this play. He's probably gone a little bit under the radar for the first team this season, to be honest. We've played a lot of games, considering he's stepped up from the reserves into that level. Started under Goffey, was exceptional and has stayed there pretty much ever since. So the players' player for the first team is Dan Harrington.
You can say yes, Dan. Smile about it. Come on, smile. You just won an award. What happened in our man, Dan? Good air.
Okay, before the next set of awards, I'd like to ask Mr. Andy Joseph, the treasurer of St Martin's Football Club, to say a few words about the season in general.
Right, so it's there's a lot of photos on here over the next 4 slides that just reminds us where we were this time last year. Somebody was saying, yeah, this time last year, you'd had an injury, hadn't you? And this time a year later, you played your first end of season warm-up type game for us. It's great to see it. A lot changes for everybody in a year. A year ago, that was our team. Stato there signing for us. We also got Harry Murray there. I think Harry captained the side, didn't he, for 4 or 5 games, something along those lines. Might be a bit more, mightn't it? Yeah, about 5 or 10. Yeah. And then very quickly we moved into the autumn, and there was a change in circumstances. Obviously, unfortunately, James stood down. We'd had a terrible game in the lead up to the FA Vars, losing to Ellesmere, which is not a good thing to do, is it? And then the FA Vars, which didn't do us very well. But what it did do is it opened the door to a lot of local guys to get involved, and some managers there, and some faces that returned to the club, gave us a hand. But we also said farewell to our physio, Steery. He great moment for him. He managed to get himself a paid role, playing for TNS ladies and supporting their backroom staff. Great stepping stone. A little bit further on from that, and we got the winter. The biggest thing I remember about winter is the bright, luminous tops that we got. Really brightened things up for us. There was the Christmas raffle, and there was the usual. But do you remember the storm? That massive storm that took out our turnstile here off the balcony. At least that's what was blamed on, getting that turnstile over the balcony into there. But also, this was the time when we got to see Baz Wildman turn up with his team. And what he did is he made sure that we were able to compete and continue playing at Step 6. We were able to fulfil our fixtures with the abundance of players that he brought along, and to say that some of those players were, outstanding, I think is fair. I think there's, a small handful of those players that will not see at our level again. They're on a journey that's going to take them right up the divisions, in my opinion. And we had a great Christmas party, and I think the first slide on the other slide showed the repercussions of that party. And then we get to spring. For me, the highlight of this season was a very tough time for our club. We're bottom of the league. We've got 2 points. We've only got 4 games to go. Our manager has left. There's half a dozen of the players that went with him, and it meant that we had to look sideways. We had to look at the lads from our local community to come up, who, remember I said just not so long ago, only last year were playing under-18s football in a kids league. We asked them to come and take their place in a side that has then got to go to West Didsbury and Chiltern, who are top of the league, with 1,000 fans screaming, closely followed by a trip to the Isle of Man. Now, we were all looking forward to that trip. There's no doubt about it. That was great. But to be going to the Isle of Man in those circumstances was daunting. But do you know what? For 45 minutes, I saw the best of St Martin's Football Club. I saw a community come together. I saw graft. I saw passion, commitment to the badge. And then I also saw, about 5 hours later, another 45 minutes, which I can't really talk about. Needless to say, what went on in Isle of Man stays in the Isle of Man. Yeah. So some great memories. It's not often that a little village team like ours, gets to play in front of 1,415, I think, was the recorded attendance, and we all know that everybody underplays that. So I'd just like to say, over the course of a year, we've had 94 first team players registered. That's quite unprecedented too. 20 of them only ever played one game. We had a number of different managers. 7 people took the management reins across the season for the first team. But all I can say along the side of that is behind the scenes to make all that happen was one individual who really had to work hard. Now you might think that's the managers, you might think that's the trainers, you might think it's somebody. But what I will tell you is the guy that has to spend hours of his day doing the most boring part of football. And that is dealing with the league, that is dealing with the paperwork that is associated with every single transfer, signing on, moving on, card, investigation, blah 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 blah. So I'd like you all to take one moment and have a look over to the guy over there, Nick Durman, who will stand up for us. I'll give him the biggest round of applause in the night. Okay, right, let's get on with the second half of the awards.
Thank you, Andy. The next set of awards is for the committee player of the season, and to make the presentation for the reserves, please welcome the Vice Chairman of St Martin's Football Club, Mr. Les Williams. I'd like to invite Les to say a few words about the recipient before I announce the name of the winner.
Hello everybody, it's great to see everybody. Fantastic to see you all here. I am pleased to have the privilege of presenting this award and delighted that the player chosen to receive the award. As well as delivering outstanding performances for the reserves, in the 4 games he played for the first team, he received 3 Man of the Match nominations. So it says something about that player, I think. In spite of his injuries and that restricted him in the midwinter period, he only missed 2 reserve team games throughout that last season. The young man has a natural ability, but continues to expand his game, learning from experiences and listening to respected coaches. St Martin's FC are delighted that he has committed to the club next season. And that individual is...
Ladies and gentlemen, the committee player of the season for the reserves for the season 2021-22 is Finn Gunn. The award for the first team, and to make the presentation, please welcome the Secretary of St Martin's Football Club, Mr. Nick Durman. And again, I'd like to invite Nick to say a few words about the recipient before I announce the name of the winner.
Hi guys, thanks very much for coming tonight. I wasn't really planning to say any words, although I have brought this just on the off chance. Andy's stolen most of my thunder in what he said. It's been a pretty incredible season for the first team. I've got 98 players. You'll be right. And only 9 of them played more than 10 games, which is incredible, really. Out of so many. This year we've had players. It's been a truly international effort, really. We've had players from Australia, Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Germany, Ghana, Italy, Jamaica, the Netherlands, Portugal, Zimbabwe, and Liam was brought along from that little place to the north, the Principality of Scotland. We've had 3 brothers and 3 sets of brothers, and including in that some twins as well. So it's been an eventful lot with so many players and so many managers, the poor committee has struggled really to make a choice with so few. But despite all the rubbish that's been thrown at us this season, the club have stood tall and played the football the right way with a smile and a laugh. I've received a lot of emails from other clubs in the North West counties complimenting us on our attitude and our ability to keep going. I think a lot of them have said that they would have folded under the same pressures as we've had, but I think, I'm going off my little script. I remember the last game of the season when we scored that goal. That was just brilliant. I forgot what the score was, but it doesn't matter. We scored. It was fantastic. It was great, and I got an email especially about that. I forget who we were playing the games all. Anyway, it was against this backdrop that the committee undertook its deliberations. As always, it's a tough choice with a few names that come to the fore. Paolo made himself available from the first game to the last and actually had 26 starts. Danny, who once we'd sorted out his international clearance from Portugal, went on to play 28 games for the club, captained the side under many other managers, which was quite an impressive return. And Dan Harrington, who stepped forward, we've seen Dan already from the reserves, he featured 21 times, which was brilliant really. But our winner was, or is,
ladies and gentlemen, the committee player of the season for the first team is Daniel Fatikandi.
You don't look at all Portuguese.
Yeah, I can't speak Portuguese either. I was going to try something clever. Danny did actually give us a shout. Again, he's in a difficult position of trying to get down here, wasn't able to get here. He did say thank you very much for what has been a fantastic opportunity, a fantastic season with a fantastic team. Or 4 or 5. That was Danny, yeah. He does have every intention of coming down and seeing us pre-season next year. But as you can imagine, he's already got offers to play elsewhere, and a player like him to attract the attention of the 4 managers, the 4 permanent managers, and retain his status as either captain or at least starting player, just shows what sort of quality he had there. So thanks very much, Nick, for announcing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next presentation is the... When you're quite finished, thank you. The next presentation is for the first team supporters player of the season. Voting took place at the final 2 games of the season at home to Barnton on Saturday the 26th of March and at home to Tudor Heath Nomads on Saturday the 2nd of April. It was a potentially rather difficult choice with so many different players having been used over the course of the season and in 4 different squads. Although not all of those who voted are here this evening, I'd like to thank everyone who took the time and trouble to cast their vote. To be voted as player of the season at any level, any club at any level of football is a prestigious honour to win, so thank you for that. And in time-honoured tradition, I will announce the top 3 in reverse order. There was actually a tie for 3rd place between Ezekiel Nkap and Finn Gunn. The runner-up in 2nd place was Mikey Witter. And so to the winner, who wins the trophy by just 1 vote, ladies and gentlemen, the St Martin's Football Club First Team Supporters Player of the Year for season 2021-22 is Troy Taylor.
I'd like to say we've only been here 2 months since we've been playing football. I think it's like 7, 8 games. But in that time you all made us so welcome. come from a club, Old Trinity Football Club, but we're just a number there, and it's just a conveyor belt.
That is a very deserved round of applause. Well done. We are a team that attracts attention. Playing at Step 6 gives the opportunity for our reserve lads to come through and play some outstanding football at a very high level. But it also gives the opportunity for lads from the North West counties who aren't breaking into their side easily to come and get regular first team football and show what they've got. And I'd like to say that all the lads that have come from the North West have done a very good job at that. And that's culminated in an award that is absolutely deserving. Well done, mate.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to a special award for Spectator of the Season, and to make the presentation, please welcome committee member Sammy Joseph. I'd like to invite Sammy to say a few words about the award and also the recipient before she announces the name of the winner.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Right, this special award goes to a very special gentleman who has been with us over many years, and he's been there through thick and thin, through this very difficult season. He's been there through all weathers. Unfortunately, he can't actually be with us tonight, but he did write this very special poem for us, which has been in the programme, which I hope you've all read. And the gentleman that this award goes to is Bill Williams. There is another special award also. This is going to blow Stato's mind because it's not on the agenda. And this is an award that goes to the support that we've received for the reserve team. And this is a very special award because this person has been there all through the season and has actually put up with cold. And this very special person is Jasmine. Would you like to help me receive this award, please? Thank you, Jazz.
Smile.
You're very tall, aren't you? Thank you.
Thanks, Sammy. This season it's been really important that the support that we've had has been present. You know, when you're not winning, it's very difficult to turn out. And when we see people like Bill, who turns up week in, week out, gives us a big smile. And, you know, like say, he even went to the time to write a poem for us. You know, that just shows what community support does for a small community club. So, and putting up with Cole is a really big thing. So, well done, Giles. Thanks very much. I'll hand you back to Stato.
Thank you, Andy. The final presentation of the evening is for Club Person of the Year, and to make the presentation, please welcome the Chairman of St Martin's Football Club, Mr Terry Ellis. I'd like to invite Terry to say a few words about the award and also the recipient before he announces the name of the winner. Terry, all yours.
Thank you, Stato. As you all know, we've always been very fortunate in having a dedicated committee in St Martin's Football Club, and this year has been no exception. We are very fortunate and grateful to have members such as Nick Dermond, who does a sterling job, Andy Joseph, Alan Austin, and it's very, very difficult to pick one of these committee members because they've all been so dedicated to the club, and without them we would have probably folded this year because it has been a particularly difficult season. We've had, as already been mentioned, we've had almost 100 players, we've had 7 different managers, and yet we've still managed every week to turn out the team, and they've put on a performance for us, and that's been recognised through every team in the league. They've been in touch with us to say how well we've done to turn out the team every week, and we completed the season. We were very, very fortunate. And COVID and various other things, it didn't help us. Players coming down from Liverpool, Manchester, all getting involved with it, but having problems with the COVID situation. We have now decided that the committee member of the year is Dan Whittle. Dan has been with us all season. Dan has various skills that brings to the club. He has qualified as a goalkeeper coach, so coaches both first team and reserves, and has played for the first and reserve teams, doubling up as kit man, so providing priceless support to the club managers. Dan's partner, Andrea, has also been commended for her commitment to the club in her role as programme editor, producing excellent programmes, and have been proven to be second to none of the high standard of the North Wales counties. It has been decided, therefore, to declare Dan Whittle as the club committee member of 21-22.
More than just a kit man.
He's a keeper to score against.
Okay, so I'm going to just round up the awards and the thank yous, because I think it's important that we just remember and name some of the key people that have been involved over the course of the season. Well, I can't do it without my glasses. I ain't getting old. That 45 minutes I played with the reserves earlier on this month, it took me 3 weeks to stop aching. It's just not good, is it? Anyway, a few special mentions. I think it's already been sort of mentioned, the other halves. You know, most of the guys here and girls here have got partners that are widows and widowers to football. And I'd just like to say very much, you know, it's appreciated that the support that you give to us. That includes Sammy, my wife. That includes Joyce over the back there. I mean, I don't know how you put up with Terry, never in. Trish and Bev. On behalf of the committee, I'd just like to thank all 4 of those specifically, and everybody else that gives us a hand. Would you like to just come up and grab a little gift that we've got on behalf of the club? Sammy, Joyce, if you want, and Trish, I'll bring them over to you. Is that alright? Saves you dawdling, yeah? Round of applause, please. There's a speech to that. There's another group of people that make sure that what we're doing on the pitch is translated right across the footballing community and wider. Our media team. This is a team that has got a lot to be thanked for. You know, the comments that have been made about the standard of the programme are outstanding. You know, and it was a tough act to follow actually, because Jack Wright, a couple of years ago, Jack Wright won an award for that programme, and I think our programme is better now. That's how good it is. So Andrea, thanks very much. Our Twitter was on fire, especially in the last 4 weeks. People were commenting left, right and centre what is going on with our Twitter. The imagery that you see around us is generated on the whole by Corey, so thank you very much. All right, mate. There's a bottle of wine each here for you. I won't make you stand up for it. I'll bring it over.
Yeah, make them
I don't know how many games you've been to, but when the home games at Park Hall, there's always we always know exactly what we're doing and when we're doing it, and that's because there's one person who, as always, turns out well, makes sure he looks the part, but more importantly, sounds the part. And at football matches, it's very important to project a good and professional image. It puts us in a better position when we walk onto the pitch. It has a positive impact on everybody involved in the game on that day. So, on behalf of the committee and the club, I'd just like to say, Stato, congratulations on looking so good, and thank you very much for the season. There you go, mate. And we've handed over a club tie to him, so he can stop looking like James Bond and a little bit more like the rest of us.
Just do that again to get ready.
Oh, quick photo. Right, where are we at? Hold on, now I can see you. Do you know, every single game there is a positive comment about the hospitality that we offer to the away team, and that is around the whole of North West counties. And it's it's a sad thing that whilst they were all saying we're really sorry to see you relegated, they were all actually saying we're really sorry we're not going to get any more of your Victoria sponge. That was all down to Alan and the positive impact he has on the game, on match day, and the experience for everybody that turns up. So Alan, really appreciate it, mate. On behalf of the committee, thanks very much. John, red or white? I knew that. Thanks. Nearly there. Don't worry. Then you can really get stuck into the beer. I've got a little header here called the bailout team. Neither of them are here this evening, but there was a moment when we'd lost our manager. We were looking at each other and saying, who's going to run this team? And while we try and find another manager. And I'd just like to say thanks to Ryan and to Jamie Hands, who both came in. Ryan Butcher and Jamie Hands came in and said, we'll look after it for a couple of weeks for you while you sort out getting the best possible manager. So on behalf of the committee and the club, I just specifically want to highlight them today and say thank you very much for what they've done for us. And because they're not here tonight, there'll be somebody else getting their wine. Another special mention, and that is, I don't think this has ever been done at an awards night, but Manager of the Year. You'd hope that you didn't have a Manager of the Year award, but...
Is it Daz? Daz.
Time to heckle.
Better not be Liam.
Alright, stand up, Bo. Give a bow to everybody. Manager of the Year, St. Martin's, Bo. Okay. So this is a lad who, over the last sort of 6 or 7 years, has been a volunteer, he's come round, he's cleared the goals off the pitch, he's put out the kit, and then last year decided he was going to help Liam run the reserve team. And as we all know, the story of the season went, the last 4 games, Liam came up and managed the first team for us, and that left Bo to look after the reserves. Now, if you look at these lads, these reserve lads, you know that's no mean feat. So But do you know what? I think he'd earned their trust, he'd earned their respect. And so, alongside Ollie, who there gave him a hand as assistant manager, they managed to see out the games that Liam wasn't available for. So, mate, congratulations, you've made Manager of the Year. Very proud of you.
I ain't actually lost a game yet, I'm not Liam.
Yeah, his winning record is better than any other manager we've had for a while. Just want to say thank you very much to our sponsors. It costs about £16,000 a year to run the first team. It costs another probably £7,000 or £8,000 to run the reserves. So as you can imagine, that's a lot of fundraising that we have to do. And our sponsors make sure that we're able to continue doing that. This year, I'd like to specifically thank Stan Superstore, who look after they sponsored the reserve team's shirts. I mean, we're here now, and it's the Keys that have made it possible for us to have this awards night this evening. So a big thank you to the Keys, who sponsor all our hospitality. Our kit supplier gives us a very good deal and makes sure that the 100-odd players at least had something to wear, even if it wasn't very uniform towards the end. But when it came down to that last few games of the season, we were all wearing those blue shirts, those blue tops. Top Mark made sure that we got it for a reasonable price, so thank you very much to Top Mark as well. And then there's two other, I'd like to say thank you, Corey, for sponsoring us and the graphics that you've done for us throughout the season, alongside West Velocity Fleet Hire, who sponsored the manager's message. I'm really pleased to be able to announce that next season we will be sponsored by Ridgeway Rentals. Ridgeway are going to be sorting out all our home kit. So thanks very much to Ridgeway Rentals. Put the ball down, thanks very much. Is it working? Put that down. Yes, that. We're going to have a sleeve. We're going to have a sleeve.
What's that mean? Go on.
Who's got that? We have a sleeve sponsor, JW Marketing, which is John Wright, who's been involved with the club for many years, so thanks to him. The Keys have said that they were going to continue with the post-match hospitality after our match, and we've had a massive grant of over £4,000 by the Three Parishes Big Fund, which is a charity that covers us, Western Rin and Gabowen, St Martin's Western Rin and Gabowen, and they've donated £4,600 to the club so that we've all got the kit that we're all going to run out in next season. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try, if we can do it, to show you what our kit's going to look like next season. Yeah, so what we did is we sent about half a dozen different options out to everybody, and this is what the majority voted for. It's a little bit out there. If you look at it, if you look at it too closely, it can make your eyes go funny. But once again, thank you very much to those that have sponsored the shirts and the Three Parishes for letting us have it. Right. Nearly there. I'm in a position to also be able to announce to you what's going to happen with a little bit more certainty. As you know, over the last few months, we've been uncertain as to where we're going to be playing, what level we're going to be playing at, and sorry, stand to the side. Okay, thank you. And whilst still some of this isn't absolute, because AGMs for the leagues haven't taken place where some of these things are absolutely formalised, we can say that what we're planning to do next season is that we're going to be accepting relegation into Step 7. Our first team and reserve team will be merged into one team and play at Step 7. I can't believe you managed to get your hands on that. Staying at Step 7, and we will be returning back to the village and playing on the stands pitch. Thank you, Mr. Weir. Trouble. Well, it's always Nathan Carpenter. Always is. Always. Yeah. So that's where we're at. I know that's very important for some players. Some players were trying to work out where they're going to be next season. So, you know, especially the guys that have made their way down from the northwest there. You know, people like Mikey travel all the way over from like Stafford, is it, around there somewhere? Walsall, even worse. I mean, further, not worse. You know, it's very important for these guys to know what the plans are. So you're right up to date now. You know what their plans are. And so I'm going to go on to the last and final mention. This is the. I think I've covered everything. Is there anything, committee guys, that I might have missed? Are we all right? Yeah, all right. Well, there's one last thing that I'm going to announce, and that is next year. I am very pleased to be able to make this statement. So, from a season that has had everything, there's been one outstanding, stalwart, reliable, dedicated football professional, from pre-season preparing junior players so that they're ready for their first full season in adult football, to leading the first team out to the 2 best teams in the league. From running small-sided sessions on stands to taking formalised training sessions for over 40 players on the venue. With his better half, I might add. This is not though. With his better half, he's coordinated the club's Twitter and single-handedly raised the social media status of the club, and all that whilst facilitating the demands of numerous first-team managers. There isn't an award that covers this, but there is a reward. He might not think it that way, but you know, that's what we're trying to sell it to him. And it is with great pleasure that the committee invites Liam Bradshaw to stand and take a round of applause as we announce the first team manager of the season for next season.
Just a few thank yous from me, really, mainly when you're ready, gents. Yeah. I'll be sure.
Just give us a moment, lads, now.
Without them guys in the corner down there, there'd be no football club. So that is absolutely massive what they've done for the club this season. Nick, Alan, Andy here, who's barely had a mention all night, absolute stalwart of the football club. A big thank you to my right hand man all season, Bo Fincher. Without him, I would be screwed, to be deadly honest. And to you players, I know I piss you off sometimes and make you do laps and things like that, but I'm doing it for the good of you lot. Boys, okay, you lot are fucking unbelievable players. Sorry for my language, but you're incredible. You're great people. Shut up, you. Alright, without you lot, some of you have been with me for 2 years now. Quality. Massive thank you to the parents as well. I'm sure it can't be easy dragging your kids down from Manchester and Liverpool and places like that. Massive thank you to my better half, Corey, who puts up with me all year. Has to deal with my moods of me coming home at 7 o'clock in the morning because of this lot drinking. It's a real honour and a privilege to lead you guys next year, and hopefully we can make a success of it, so thank you very much.
Okay. I mean, there are other awards, things like the worst haircut. There are just so many candidates to pick from. Although I've got to say, Mikey's is winning tonight. Sorry, mate. What I'm going to do now, though, is we'll leave that to something a little less formal. Shortly, there'll be some food brought out, so make sure you get stuck into that. Leave some for the others. And I'm going to hand you right back to Stato to finalise the proceedings.
Thank you, Andy. Well done. Right, that concludes the awards part of the evening. Thank you very much indeed for your attendance this evening. At this point, I'd like to once again thank John Smelton and all the staff here at the Keys for all their hard work during the evening, including the preparing of all the food when it comes, and for being able to accommodate us for this presentation night. I think they deserve a round of applause. Please feel free to stay as long as you can to continue drinking, albeit sensibly. But in the meantime, however and wherever you are travelling this evening, please have a safe journey home when you go. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, everyone.